Hi, greetings. I hope that you are doing well. If you're an explorer like me and you like to see interesting sights and travel and see new things, I hope that you will stay tuned and watch this dive down into the catacombs. It's different from I think a lot of the other content that is out there. More than 6 million remains are here, and it's just a very interesting space. This was a 2-week period with my family and where we were staying in our Airbnb, which if you didn't see that video, check out the card above. It's really short too, but that place is so pretty. I would buy it if I could. It's so amazing. But because the catacombs spread out so wide, when we were looking at the location for the Airbnb, we were like, oh, it's on top of the Paris Catacombs. So it was instantly one of those, oh, we should check it out. And on our first day, even though we were feeling tired because we took red-eye flights, we still were really excited. You know, there's nothing like getting somewhere new and just being eager to explore and dive into everywhere that's around you. So we definitely sat down, we talked for a few minutes, and I don't think we really relaxed that long before we were like, let's go explore. When we emerged from the Defense station and metro station coming from Charles de Gaulle Airport, we did see this really large lion statue in this square, and it's actually like a really big circular space, kind of like a roundabout, and it's actually like it's a square. It's a little mini park, and it also houses the entrance to the Paris Catacombs. So there's a lot of really cool historic things about this location. I encourage you to take a look at the blog post that goes with this video so that you can get some quick links to some of those really interesting facts, including, of course, the website for the catacombs. And yeah, let's go take a look. So I remember standing in this line and watching just car after like all this traffic just moving around you as you stand in this really large circular space. And it was really hot. A lot of the people were talking about how it was unseasonably warm for the area. What's interesting is we also heard it was unseasonably rainy. So it would be like days when it was really, really nice and really, really hot, and then days when it was really, really wet. But this was one of those days that it was really warm, and we're standing out around all the heat from the traffic and on concrete and all these people and the sun just barreling down on you from this like almost cloudless day. And I knew that they were underground, and I knew roughly what it looked like because, of course, I Googled and I looked and I traveled vicariously through the internet because I knew that we were going to go check out this location at some point in our visit. But I was looking past how I might feel going into that location and was strictly just focused on getting out of the heat and getting in the shade. So once we did, this is what the entrance looked like. It's these really big green like gate and door structure, and it's next to the old taxation building that was actually one of the main entry points to getting into the city of Paris once upon a time. So yeah, okay, let's take some stairs down. Our initial entrance into the Paris Catacombs started with these large green emerald gates right next to the old taxation building, and it was followed by some super steep and narrow twisting stairs down into these original tunnels. And at the time I felt really weird about filming and photos, so this is one of the few captures that I have personally, because I felt like I was disrespecting this space if I was taking a lot of photos, though a lot of people do. But I just, this sign marks the real initial entrance and gives some information about when it was established and why. But this is where you really start to see what the remains look like and how they are assembled. It's really incredible and awe-inspiring and eerie all at the same time. It felt damp and cool, and it just kind of seemed to envelop you, and it smelled a bit like must and dirt, the same as most any historic location might be, but it felt so much more than that. It just, I don't know, I felt it at my core. And these tunnels went on forever, and it was you can read about 6 million remains but to see them like this is a whole other feeling entirely. And if you can imagine just tunnel after tunnel after tunnel of this, you can really understand why so many of them would start to bow and protrude outward, as you can see in that right picture. It was actually really incredible how many were seeming to fall towards you and break down, and it just, I don't know, it added to the eeriness. I've never really had a big fear of being stuck underground, but it definitely gives you a little bit of that, how stable is this, kind of questioning feeling in the back of your mind. All in all, it probably took us a good maybe hour to walk through this space, or through the spaces. It was very, very massive, and I definitely encourage you to check out Google Maps, go to the Catacombs website, and really see how much underground space this covers. A lot of the spaces were closed off, as you could see with the gate to the right, which definitely piqued my curiosity. As you can see, these are really big spaces. Obviously, this is really intense. And for some people, this may not be their thing, but I had so much fun. And as eerie as it felt, and as much as I felt like I was invading, I also had this sense of me that was almost like I was paying respects to the people who were there and just visiting them, as silly as that may sound. This hall, oh my gosh, I looked down and was thinking to myself, where does that go? Can I hop over this railing and go adventure? But I didn't. This video is short. I really hope that you can get a sense for really what it felt like, the overwhelming sense of presence, the cold, the damp, the eeriness, but also in a way, as I continued to go through these tunnels, I increasingly felt more curious, and also as if I was paying some respect to those who lie and rest here. It's interesting, you know, thinking back on it now, do I feel like it's disrespectful to go to a cemetery? No, I don't. I feel like that's remembering somebody or just honoring those who rest there. But there's something very different about seeing these remains exposed in this way. And even though it's underground, you see from these stacks, there's just so many. So it's a little overwhelming in that sense. But yeah, I really loved this site. It was very interesting. And I really hope one day to take my kids as they get older and they can understand it. But yeah, I really encourage anyone to go check this out. If you're going to be making a trip to Paris, please go to the Montparnasse district and check it out. The Denfert-Rochereau station and the Saint-Just station on the metro lines are going to be the closest to that place, and you won't regret it. I promise. So as we concluded our visit here, we started to feel those jet lag feelings. It was a really beautiful night, and we decided to go to one of the many cafes that were in this area and grab something to eat, relax, and go get a nice night's sleep before venturing out. I hope that you enjoyed this video, as short and sweet as it is. I hope it gives you a fun idea of what it's like to visit a location like this. It's definitely not the standard kind of travel thing that most people would share. A lot of people share the parks, which are so much fun, and cruises and seeing the beautiful city, which we have some of that stuff too. But this is definitely a unique view. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you will check out more, and I hope this encourages you to explore the world and live empowered.